John, how do you go about replacing Josh Kennedy for the next 12 weeks?
Well, we're blessed to have some pretty good options to look at. So, Josh won't be playing, but we've got players that we think can step up to those roles, and we'll work out whether it's an opportunity to give some younger players some good development time, or whether we go back to some old stalwarts like a Mitch Brown that can play forward. So, we've got those options. Obviously not Brownie this week, but pushing forward, we'll look at a few things like that.
Someone like Scott Weiss, the perfect sort of build to step into that role?
Yeah, he'd be happy with you saying he's the perfect build. But he's a talented young player coming through. Only got the one game last year, but he filled in really well for one of our ruckmen. So he's an option that we've certainly got to look at.
Is he more of a ruckman, or could he play a forward role?
He's played 90% of his footy last year and this year as a key forward. He's just had short stints in the ruck to make sure that we're slowly progressing that side of his game, but he's been playing as a key forward.
So is he the most likely then to come in as the replacement this week?
Well, he's one name right up there, yes.
So last year, a couple of times when you lost a tall forward, you didn't replace them with a tall, you just reshaped what you had. Is that an option as well?
Absolutely it is, yeah.
What's your preference?
Well, it's going to depend on availability of players. This week's a little bit different, and probably next week with Brown out and Schofield out. But we've got some good options there. We've got some. We've got plenty of options really. So we'll be looking short term, but also with a view to what we're planning, for the next 3 months really as well without Josh.
So is it the next couple of weeks with the lack of talls? Is that an opportunity to experiment a bit and see how it works?
Well, that will depend on opposition and other factors as well, because we can easily bring in Scott Lycett or Fraser McInnes, or we could go mid-sized forwards like a Jerick Whedon, things like that. So we've got good options, and we're really pleased with that. It's a part of the club we've been building up solidly over the last couple of years.
So McInnes is going well enough to come in at the moment?
Yes.
Yep.
Just reading between the lines, it seems like you're pretty keen for Brown to take on that key role once he's ready to return. Is that?
No, well, we've just thrown up the options we have. Brownie hasn't played a lot forward in the last year or so, but he can play forward. We've got no doubt about that. So he is one name on that list, not necessarily ahead of the others, but he gives us flexibility.
Will Cox and Natanui probably spend more time forward now to try to ease that?
No. They already spend a lot of time forward. Basically, they're on the ground 90% of the time, so they can't spend any more time out there. We're not going to play them 100% of the time, so it really doesn't change their role.
Is that new okay? He's out there running with Anthony Jones at the moment? He's fine?
Yeah. If he's running with Anthony Jones, he must be super fit.
Walking and jogging and walking. He's doing walk, jog sort of laps.
Yeah, no, that's just normal. Blokes get soreness out, and today's a very light session. Today's about getting ready for tomorrow's main training session.
How about for Jack Darling? John, he's been huge for you, but do you need him to, take on an even bigger role now? No. Just keep giving us what he's given us. Yep.
He'll probably get more attention from opposition defenders now.
More?
I'd say.
They haven't been giving him many?
Well, they'll give him.
They just didn't realise he was out there?
Now that Kennedy's not there, their focus can shift. They'll be forcing.
Yeah. No, I disagree with that, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think teams focus on one player and disregard the other five in a forward line. I think they focus on every player. This level of competition, they're working on smothering every possibility within a game. So,
Eric McKenzie, John, is he okay?
Eric's pretty good. Yep, he's feeling good.
So ear infection it's not going to affect.
No, I don't even know if it was an infection. It was, he had some fluid behind his eardrum. So whether that's caused by an infection, what caused it, we're not really sure. But it's resolved itself.
Many of the fans will be saying, come on, let's end the injury run. What does the coach think when you do have an injury run like you've had? And that's a pretty serious one, especially in your forward line. Yeah,
long-term injuries, it is one of those runs. We'll try and look at possibilities of why we've had such a bad run. We need to learn from things like that. But we're still, firmly focused on building this team up to be able to deal with all those issues and play at its best footy every week. So regardless of who's not playing, we're really pleased with the squad we've got to go out and play at its best, perform its best Eagles footy.
Can you put your finger on any early indicators as to why those players have gone down?
No, a thing like landing from a marking contest awkwardly, that happens. Mitch Brown getting poked in the eye. I saw Danny Green at the airport after the game and he said he should have done that. And he would have been right. It's a pretty simple solution.
Sorry.
Yep.
Josh obviously had to go back on being the situation you were in, but do you think it made the injury any worse?
No, you can't worsen the seriousness of that injury. How bad it was. It was a remarkable effort that he could even get out there for us, and we understood that. We told him, don't have to lead, don't have to run, just try and give the other blokes a bit of a spell for a while.
Minkowski and Kennedy have got leg injuries, which is going to impact on their ability to run now and in the build-up. So how much footy do you reckon they're going to be able to play at the end of the year to get match fitness and training fitness?
5 weeks of a pre-season program gets you pretty fit. Scott Selwood really didn't start his pre-season running program till mid-January, and he was up and going. So yeah, give them 5 weeks of a running program, and they'll get their fitness right up. And they'll start that running program a lot sooner than when it said they're back available to play. So
defensively this week, Officer McKenzie comes in for Schofield. Who do you look at for Brown?
Well, Adam Selwood was a sub last week, so he could easily step back into the lineup. Jacob Brennan's in excellent form, as is Brad Shepherd. So all those guys are well and truly in the mix. Pat McGinnity as a smaller defender and frees up Smith or Hearn to play on taller guys.
Brendan, you mentioned McInnes before. Would you be comfortable taking 2 debutants into a game?
Absolutely, if their form warrants it. No question at all. I've never used worrying about the number of games players have played in terms of selecting them. It's always been on form.
Can you give us a line on Brendan and McInnes, just in terms of how you rate them in their seasons in case they do get picked?
Yeah, well, Fraser's been very impressive with his start at the footy club. And he's a big, strong boy who's still only very young, but going to grow into a very, very strong key forward. Reads the game really well, real natural footballer, and has already performed really well for Perth as a key forward. And Jacob Brennan's development's been fairly rapid. He's gets the job done. He's got really good pace. He's got an unbelievable competitiveness right at the elite level. So Jacob's developed a lot of the areas of his game that have taken to that level where he's right up for selection.
Would it be an emotional thing for you? I mean,
Not really.
Not really.
No.
That Brennan sort of first.
No, what I would see as humour would be that his dad's sitting outside collecting coats for a cause while his son runs on to play his first game and he's late. That would be pressure.